What is going on, Roland Empire? Here, guys, to give you a video. Godzilla versus King Kong. HBO Max or the movie theaters, wherever you want to see it, it's finally out. I support the streaming service, don't get me wrong. I like for what it's going for. But if opportunity knocked, you know I had to see this in the cinema. So I'm seeing this from a cinema lens, a lens perspective. And I'm curious to know, maybe that's what could maybe depend on what people think of this review, whether it's negative and positive. You guys know the story already. This is the fourth installment, this monsterverse of Godzilla and King Kong. And now, you know, this one is finally having the Titans clash out. It's what you expected. It's crazy to think that we've always had this kind of hype. It's in a certain different level, but still same level. That, like how we always expected the Avengers team up. Who would have thought that now we have these two just fighting, you know, teaming up, however you view it. But it's finally here, you know. So does this movie live up? Okay, if you guys know how the characters are, you know, that they could have been better fleshed out, but they're still justifiable. At least what I've said recently, you know, how does this one live up? For me, okay, it was good enough. Okay, I kind of expect at this point. It's again what I've said, I think, for certain movies, that once you know what you're getting yourself in for, then you'll have a good time. But this also might not be for everybody. That I get it, the characters, you know, aren't best designed. But what I really appreciate from this is that, you know, it doesn't waste its time. For its runtime that it has to utilize, I liked what I got. You got what you got of action sequences from Godzilla and Kong. And for me, at least understanding what they're trying to sell, I know that this isn't, you know, the incredible Oscar-worthy performances and well-written dialogue. But I know that how I need to prepare for this, and I still have a good time. This is a nice cinematic worthy way to experience this. That might be why it enhanced it for me, that I enjoyed it. Good time if you can go with some family or some friends and all that. It's definitely that kind of movie. And there are certain things I liked, certain ways of how they got like Kong, how they treated Kong and all that, and then realizing also what Godzilla, you know, the motivations. I thought they were better than what my predictions could have been. And knowing at least now some of these characters, whether it's like a case by case where like, you're still not the best developed, but since I have seen something, I care to an extent. It's all about really measurements of how you take this. And again, it's like maybe like a broken record. I'm in the middle. I know what I'm getting myself into, but I also got what I want. And nice with the incredible, whether it's the visuals of animation or cinematography with live action, good job on the combinations. At least it's so enjoyable for that too. It definitely is like eye candy. It's eye candy to just experience this movie, and just the sound effects with however you could have mixed it and all, incredible combinations. Just I like that at least it was really aware of what this movie was. And I like that we didn't waste too much time in certain destinations that we didn't need to. We got to the points at the least. You know, it didn't feel, at least, like if maybe this was more of an extended movie. It could be, but it didn't maybe shrink it out. It felt like it was cut enough where you're like, you know where you're going, you know what you're doing, and then realizing how we got here. So I admire that. I don't know how much of it I'm right, but I'm just kind of, you know, winging it. And again, this is a case by case. It's like, as a critic, filmmaker, the structure of this film, just, you know, it's more really enjoyable for the eye, you know, the sort of like the quality of the film. But I still am a fan. And as a fan, I really enjoy it. So it's like, I want to grade these as best as I can, but the gradings really just add up as a mixture of both. And that's why I'm just like, I just want to discuss how I liked it and how maybe what didn't and what worked. So, like, if you guys already know, I had a good time with this movie. You know, there still was characters I'm like, villains could have been well better written. But it was enough of justifying what the purpose was of even of the script. I'm like, if they're gonna meet, can you give us a reason at all? And then just knowing of the good characters and realizing also that they're not as three-dimensional as you could. But there's enough of like, okay, you know, it feels like every film of this has a previous character, but then a new character has to take over, and you know enough again why at least you even should give a damn, you know, excuse my language if that even counts for whatever. But I it's all coming from a standpoint of appreciation. I do like that this is what we led to, and yes, I want to see if maybe installments from here now, how if there's any going to be any challenging way of maybe they do step it up. They finally got to the point that they really wanted. Like, Warner Brothers wanted to make this movie, but at the very least, they gave you an introduction to all these kind of characters to lead up to this. That I can appreciate. But I want to see if they're going to continue this. This could always just be a franchise that you know where you're getting yourself into. But I do want to see this franchise challenge itself because I really care for it. So as much as I defend that what this franchise is enjoyable, it can be better. I really want to see this succeed. But as for 4 installments that they are, I enjoyed enough that I will see a fifth. But then also, what I've gotten so far with these 3 films, this fourth movie paid off. So again, it's like, if you guys want me to do a definitive of all this that I think down the line, this movie just isn't like that. This movie has things that, like, again, from many departments that I like, that I really cared for, that I really just hated, that I'm like, why are we doing this, that I enjoyed all this. It's that kind of film. And it's going to be the one that you just discussed with friends. You can check it out again. Who knows? I'm glad that it's on HBO Max. I think it's worth that. I could check it out again. But it was definitely a fun time at the theater. I think if you don't want to risk it, you don't have to. But if you could risk it, or at least, if you could have the opportunity, like I said, I think it is worth to check it out in the film. Because at least, you have to at least realize how to prepare what you're getting yourself. And like I keep repeating, like a record, I really do enjoy this universe so far. And I'm rooting for it that it succeeds even better. But I like so far what we've gotten from this franchise, guys. But like I always say, these are always just my thoughts and opinions. You can let me know why, these movies didn't work for you. Or maybe you have a preferable one of the 4. Or tell me how each of them you liked so much. Give me your reasons which one's your more favorite of all of them. But give me a reason why you like them. That's the beauty of all this, Definitely deserves an entertaining stamp for this one. And just, I had a good time just enjoying this film for the way it was, okay? It was nice. It was definitely was nice and enjoyable. So all this in the comments below, guys. And as always, roll an empire, laugh, smile, repeat.